Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to temporarily pause attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure, but rejected a broader US-backed ceasefire in a rare phone call with President Donald Trump on Tuesday. The leaders said they would begin negotiations on a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea and a full truce, though Putin stressed several conditions that could pose hurdles in future peace talks, including calling for an end to Western military support for Ukraine. There is no indication Putin has dropped any of his maximalist goals, as per experts. Shortly after the call, Russian drones reportedly targeted Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. According to the Russian readout of the call, Putin stressed a number of conditions for resolving the conflict, including the complete cessation of foreign military aid and the provision of intelligence to Kyiv and the need to stop mobilization in Ukraine. Those terms run counter to Kyiv's desire for an unconditional ceasefire, leaving the future of negotiations unclear. Well, they're talking, but really the real takeaway is there is no ceasefire agreement. Israel has launched new strikes in the Gaza Strip, killing more than 400 people. The resumption of Israel's war against Hamas on Monday came after almost 2 months of relative calm in Gaza under a ceasefire the U.S. helped to broker, but which Israel and Hamas could not agree on how to continue. Meanwhile, in the latest update, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that airstrikes in Gaza were only the beginning and that all ceasefire negotiations will take place under fire. Listen in.
יחד עם שר הביטחון, קיבלתי את המלצת צה"ל והמלצת גורמי הביטחון לחזור ללחימה עצימה נגד החמאס. מכאן ואילך, ישראל תפעל נגד החמאס בעוצמה הולכת וגוברת. ומכאן ואילך, משא ומתן יתנהל רק תחת אש. החמאס כבר הרגיש ביממה האחרונה את נחת זרוענו, ואני רוצה להבטיח לכם, אני רוצה להבטיח לו, זו רק ההתחלה. אנחנו נמשיך להילחם כדי להשיג את כל מטרות המלחמה. שחרור כל חטופינו, חיסול החמאס, והבטחה שעזה לא תהווה עוד איום על ישראל.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has insisted that Ukraine must be involved in any negotiations to end the war following a phone call between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Putin. The White House said that Trump and Putin agreed to pause strikes on Ukraine's energy and infra, but Putin refused to commit to a broader 30-day ceasefire. Zelensky, who was not briefed on the call, expressed frustration at being sidelined. Meanwhile, shortly after the call ended, air raid sirens rang out in Kyiv, followed by explosions raising fresh concerns about Russia's intentions.
Ми будемо підтримувати будь-які пропозиції, які ведуть до сталого і справедливого миру. Але для цього ми повинні розуміти, про що йдеться, які деталі. І дай Бог, щоб ми знали всі ці деталі, щоб партнери проговорили з нами, тому що в цій війні дві сторони – Росія і Україна. І без України домовлятись, мені здається, безрезультативно. Ми ж підтримуємо всі кроки щодо закінчення війни. Ми і будемо підтримувати, але для того, щоб щось підтримувати, треба розуміти, що конкретно. Буде час у президента Трампа, він зайнята людина, буде час, він набере будь-який час, у нього є там телефон, немає питання, ми готові, проговоримо з ним наступні кроки.
A new trove of government files about the assassination of President John F. Kennedy was released to the public under an order from President Donald Trump. The scholars hope the flood of papers will resolve or at least shed light on the final questions about an event that traumatized the nation and remains the subject of conspiracy theories 6 decades later. Trump, in teasing the release, said that there would be no redactions, but an early review found that some information appeared to have been blocked out. As per Houthi media, the U.S. has carried out at least 10 airstrikes on Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen, including Sada and Hodeidah. The strikes come after the Iran-backed Houthis resumed attacks on Red Sea shipping, claiming to support Palestinians in Gaza. A Houthi military spokesperson alleged that their forces fired missiles and drones at the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman and other U.S. warships, but provided no evidence. The situation in the Red Sea remains tense as the U.S. and its allies continue efforts to counter Houthi threats to global shipping routes. The Israeli government has approved Prime Minister Netanyahu's proposal to reappoint Itamar Ben-Gvir as the Minister of National Security. Ben-Gvir, who leads the far-right Jewish Power Party, is a figure whose polarizing reputation continues to stir debate both domestically and internationally. His reappointment comes at a time of heightened tensions as Israel navigates complex security challenges and explores the possibility of a ceasefire with Hamas. A judge in the Dominican Republic has ordered the release of Joshua Ribe, the last known person to see missing U.S. student Sudiksha Konanki. Ribe, a senior at St. Cloud University, had been detained but was not named as a suspect. He has told investigators that he and Konanki were drinking in the ocean when they got caught in a current. He further said that he brought her ashore, but when he looked up, she was gone. Well, Konanki's parents have now asked the authorities to declare her legally dead as local officials believe she had drowned. Billionaire Elon Musk has accused the Biden administration of rejecting SpaceX's offer to bring back stranded astronauts months earlier, purely for political reasons. Speaking on Fox News, Musk has said that the astronauts were originally supposed to stay in space for just 8 days but have now been there for nearly 10 months. He's claimed SpaceX could have brought them back after just a few months, but the White House refused the offer. The Biden administration has not yet responded to Musk's allegations. Federal judge has blocked Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency from further dismantling U.S. aid, calling their actions likely unconstitutional. Judge Theodore Chuang ordered Musk to restore computer access for thousands of affected employees, but did not reinstate terminated contracts. The lawsuit filed by USAID employees argues Musk overstepped executive authority without Senate confirmation. The Trump administration has criticized Tuesday's ruling. White House spokesperson Anna Kelly has said that rogue judges are subverting the will of the American people in their attempts to stop President Trump for carrying out his agenda. She further called the decision a miscarriage of justice and vowing to appeal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio recently confirmed that over 80% of U.S. aid programs are being scrapped, raising concerns about the future of global humanitarian aid. A federal judge has temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's executive order barring transgender people from serving in the U.S. military. Judge Ina Reyes ruled that the order likely violates constitutional protections against sex discrimination. The lawsuit filed by 20 current and prospective service members argues the ban is illegal, citing a Supreme Court ruling on workplace discrimination. Trump had previously said that transgender individuals conflict with military discipline, but Reyes criticized the government for failing to justify the policy. The ruling halts enforcement while the case proceeds, marking a significant legal setback for Trump's policy. Mahmoud Khalil, a Columbia University graduate student, has called himself a political prisoner after his arrest by U.S. immigration authorities. The Trump administration is seeking his deportation, claiming his presence could harm U.S. foreign policy. Khalil, who's a legal permanent resident, was detained after taking part in pro-Palestinian protests. His arrest has sparked protest and condemnation from human rights groups and over 100 Democratic lawmakers. Trump has vowed to deport activists he accuses of supporting Hamas, but Khalil's legal team denies any such links. His case could test the limits of free speech protections for non-citizens in the U.S.